Hey guys, Kevin Downey from Kevin M. Downey. Thanks so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. This video, want to talk about, it's kind of a thinking out loud video, but I have a nice list. Built this within Claude. As we do a lot of things, I bounce a lot of stuff back and forth with it for us as an agency because it's what we do, of course, but it's such a great thinking partner. But this topic is, I think, one that doesn't get covered a lot. In business, we have so much momentum and so much acceleration with AI right now that we aren't. I'm going to close this out right there. Actually, we're not. We're kind of jumping the gun a little bit in some cases in companies. I'm seeing owners delegating AI stuff to employees without they themselves knowing what it is, what it can do, what it means for their business. There's a lot to it. It's here to stay. It is a massive, massive, powerful tool. I mean, there's the argument, and I was having this discussion with a professional in the space, but also Claude itself on where it's going to fit in the I would say the big triad of things that have changed business in my lifetime, and that would be computers, the internet, and now AI. And where does AI fit in that list of three? Claude was definitely internet number one, AI number two, but closing in fast, and computers number three, and it had its own logic for that. But this video, 6 reasons why owners should learn AI before their teams do. Right there's, and I'm going to go right off of Claude putting this together with me because I want to show you exactly what it does. It's part of the discussion always and things like that. I've got a nice PDF as you saw that is part of our knowledge base and asset base. That if you want a copy of it, that's great. But it is imperative, and reason number 6. So Claude came up with 5 reasons, and all of them are things that I led with some ideas there for it to develop those things, but it missed the last one. And I think it is one of the most important and probably right now not talked about enough in business, but you can tell that the topic is starting to pick up steam. Certainly the enterprise level companies are very different in the way that they've grabbed onto AI. They're training people on it. They're very formalized training in a lot of cases. They've got some very strong rules on how it's used, dedicated business accounts for everybody, all that stuff. And the rest of business is not doing that yet. We're seeing the momentum. Right, because AI is, again, going back to kind of the beginning, AI has got so much power and everybody can see what it can do. And it's just going to keep more and more, it's just going to get more and more powerful and used more and more in business, right? Now, from a number standpoint, if you're an owner, you're looking at 55 to 65% of all working age people are knowledge-based workers. That includes owners. And so that's about 100 million. That is an audience. Over half of our working people in the United States, if not 2/3, are going to be using AI. If they're not already, they're going to be using AI daily in their jobs. That's going to happen. It's almost, certainly almost guaranteed, right? The only thing that could possibly slow that down, and I've had this conversation with a couple of people too, is AI is going to stay ahead of the adoption simply because there's going to be different pushback, between power concerns and regulation, governmental involvement, all kinds of different things as to where AI might get slowed down a little bit in business. And you would see that have its impact more at enterprise companies than smaller businesses because it's just where they're going to pay more attention to, right? But anyway, so 6 reasons why owners should learn AI before their teams do. So if you're an owner and you've got people in your company leading the AI charge, especially if you're a small business, smaller side of a mid-market company, you got to get your arms around it. You got to get your head wrapped around it and understand what you're dealing with, because it can be very, very dangerous for you to we've got the Wild West with AI still in a lot of businesses. And for you to allow your employees to lead that charge by themselves without you being involved, very, very tricky and scary thing to do. And the last point on this is the one that I really pushed back on Claude with, and I think it's one of the most important and underappreciated topics out there for business right now. So reason number one, and again, this is Claude putting this together primarily, can't lead what you don't understand, right? That's absolutely true. I'll give you the bullet points really quick. Push AI down before using it yourself. Delegating the biggest shift of the decade to people who report to you. Ops manager picks what's easy to deploy. Marketing lead picks what makes their job easier. IT picks what's cheap and secure. None of them are sitting in your seat. Result: 40,000 spent. Nobody can tell you what changed. That again, all of these are true. That is something to be, again, and this is hard for owners and certainly employees to hear, but I've said this on podcasts before. Employees, yeah, they care about your company maybe secondarily. I say sometimes they don't care about your company. They care about keeping their jobs. That's it. That's what they care about. If they don't own part of the business, their primary concern is employment security. AI, letting them make decisions regarding AI is, you got to make the decisions on AI as the big overriding theme in your organization, right? Reason two, your seat sees what no one else sees. To that same thing, right? AI is the best as a thought partner. I deal with that a lot. I'll show you something on that at the end. The thing that matters most happens in your head, not theirs. Pricing, hiring, taking on clients, expansion, exit. Team can't bring AI to those questions. They're not in them. Spouse lacks content. Leadership has skin in the game. Advisors cost too much to call. Right? AI fills that seat if you know how to use it. Very important. AI as a thought partner, understanding it, using it day to day, and then delegate to your team accordingly on how you're going to implement AI in your organization. Reason three, can't evaluate what you don't know. Owners who skip personal use phase either rubber stamp everything or reject everything. Both are expensive. 30 days of personal use equals you can spot real versus theater in 30 seconds. Tell when AI workflow is just ChatGPT with extra steps. Tell when 50,000 builds solves a $500 problem. Judgment comes from doing, not reading. Agree 100% there. I think AI as a thought partner for owners is essential at this point. Like, everybody should do it. I don't care what kind of business you're in. Doesn't matter. If you have a business of any kind, solopreneur all the way up to any size company with employees in any type, any industry, AI is applicable. Just because, if nothing else, as a thought partner, but once you delve into it, what we see is owners who use it as a thought partner, they bring AI in big time in their organizations, and they know what they are doing with it. So they delegate it accordingly. They have a plan. They have a structure. They know what they want to do piece by piece. We obviously help with that and with our clients, right? In me working with owners in particular at first, but also marketing teams and other people in the organization. Reason number four, the pattern in companies winning with AI. Not Fortune 500, small and mid-size. Pattern is consistent. Owner got it first and pulled team in. Companies struggling. Owner sponsored something they didn't understand, waited for results, or delegated the whole question and got surprised by a small answer. Owner first equals gravitational center for AI in the company. If the owner's last, they're a bystander. Don't want to be a bystander in this. Reason number five, your team is watching you. Talking about AI but not using it, they know. Every AI conversation in the company gets discounted. Using it, even quietly, changes the standard overnight. Quote, are we doing AI becomes, how are we doing AI? And you don't have to push it down. Company pulls it up to meet you, right? That's dangerous, okay? All of that ties together, of course. And then reason number six is the one that I pushed back to Claude with because it gave me five, right? And there was some stuff in conversation that kind of led to those, right? They were sort of obvious. This one was one that Claude didn't bring up right away, and it is something that we've already done a knowledge-based piece on, and you can have a copy of it. I'll show it to you on screen. Reason number six, you need to make the AI accounts call, and you can't make it blind. So the biggest danger in business right now that is just starting to become a hot topic, and again, enterprise companies are different because they've already set up standards and protocols in most cases. I'm not going to say all cases because I saw something last week that kind of concerned me in a company with, almost 5,000 employees. And my buddy is a sales executive, and he's using ChatGPT personal account for stuff that they're doing within the company. I was like, there's no way you should be doing that. And he goes, no, I know. So it isn't you're right, enterprise companies are making the mistake too, but we see a lot more establishment there, formalized training policies, business accounts, Anthropic, if you didn't know, Anthropic's Claude, even though enterprise companies are very heavily on Microsoft and Microsoft Office, and they have access to Microsoft Copilot, Claude is the AI of choice for 8 of the top 10 companies in the world and over 70 of the top 100. And remember, they already have Copilot as part of their stuff, right? And they still choose Claude. There's a reason why. It's built for business, right? There's so many things, and I cover this in other videos. We want to get on a call, I'll show you. If you're not familiar with it, you got to look at it. It should be your default choice as a business. Okay. This reason number 6 is a whole topic, the risks of personal AI accounts at work. This is now something that needs to be dealt with across the board, every company. If you're an owner and you're the only one using AI, that's fine, right? But what you don't realize is if you don't set the standard and set the stage and drive the bus on this, all the other things in these reasons matter, of course. This one is one of the primary reasons because you have to give your people, you got to understand AI and then tell them, look, we are doing a company policy. We're doing a corporate account on Anthropic. Everyone is using Claude and we're doing it on business accounts. And the reason why is liability. You cannot have the Wild West of your staff running all kinds of stuff about your company and your people and your customers through their personal AI accounts, right? You can't. Even if it's Claude, personal, you can't do it. You just can't do it. You've got to have a pro or a team account. Team is the primary one, maybe enterprise if you're big enough, on Anthropic, and everything's got to run through that. Everybody has to have accounts, and everything for business needs to be run on that, period. For tracking, for liability, for everything, okay? So I'm going to go through the bullet points. Your people are probably already using AI on personal accounts on their phones with company data. That's shadow AI is what it's called, by the way. And every owner has it, whether they know it or not. The decision you have to make, company-paid business accounts or let it personal use continue. Wrong answer, either way is expensive. Block it. The team works around you and the problem gets worse. Ignore it. Company data sitting in personal accounts you don't control. Buy the wrong tier or wrong tool and you waste spend and no adoption, right? You can't make this call from a slide deck or a vendor pitch. Owners who've used AI personally for 30 days know what tier their people need, what guardrails matter, what's worth paying for. Owners who haven't either overspend on enterprise plans nobody uses or underspend and leave shadow AI in place. Procurement decision is downstream of the personal use decision, and you're the only one who can make it right. Again, you have to own part of the company to care about the company at the level, my opinion, from a long time in business and working with a lot of small businesses and mid-market companies. Employees, unless they have an ownership stake in the company, like as in what happens to the company then dictates their compensation to a measurable degree, which means they're an owner by my definition. If they're not an owner in your company, they don't care about your company anywhere near the way you do. They're an employee. They care about saving their jobs. That's it. Keeping their jobs. They want their pay. That's it. They should not be making decisions on AI driving from the top, just from the get-go. Now, if you set up the standards and we've got everybody on Anthropic's Claude and you have business accounts and then you have strategy sessions about AI on a regular basis, and then they make decisions within different departments on AI and use and what they're doing in path and all that stuff and process, that's fine. But you got to drive the bus from the top. It's just too important. It's no different than... Again, you can argue the 3 things in my lifetime, the computer, internet, and AI. And AI has passed computer for, argument's sake, and is approaching internet as far as its power and importance in business. And it's going to pass it. It's just a matter of time, right? So anyway, so that's the 6 reasons. A couple of things. If you want this piece, the risks of personal AI accounts at work. This is a 12-page Claude research project. So this was done by Claude and it's in research mode. If you don't know what that is, let's jump on a call. I'll show you, or get a Claude account and play with it. It's amazing. It has all kinds of data, all kinds of things that are worth reading. It's not going to take you long. It takes 20, 30 minutes to read. And then if you want to talk about our stuff, we've got our executive AI partner program and our marketing AI partner program, and we can dig into that. And then working together long term. Our website is kevinmdowney.com. Upper right hand corner, I don't have it up here, but upper right hand corner is where you can see to schedule a call. Click that. Let's jump on a call and see how we can help you. Okay. Thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. Best of luck in business in 26, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.